Former Congolese rebel leader Bosco The Terminator Ntaganda is set to spend the next 30 years behind bars. It's the harshest sentence ever handed down by the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Ntaganda was convicted on charges including rape, murder and recruiting child soldiers. But for more on this, Africa analyst Jean Boissa joins me now to talk about this. Thank you so much for your time. Welcome. Let's talk about whether or not you think this is indeed the harshest, sentence. According to the spokesman from the ICC, what is your reaction?
Well, first of all, my reaction would like to be in the celebratory mode because of the book that I've won, and it's a great victory for Africa, taking into account that the narrative is changing. But with regard to your question and Bosco Ntaganda, first of all, I would like to reiterate the fact that Bosco Ntaganda, as well as many people that they call Congolese, is not a Congolese. We must establish the fact, because while I'm here in South Africa and my children being born here, they are not South Africans. So yet Bosco Ntaganda was born in 1973 in Rwanda.
Right.
And since 1973, he became a soldier at the age of 17 and flip-flopping between Rwanda and the Congo, either within the rebel area or as a regular soldier of Joseph Kabila, who's also from Rwanda, and Paul Kagame, who's the uncle of Joseph Kabila. So we must establish the fact and say the truth. And we need to change this narrative. Yeah. So whether the sentence is harsh or not is not going to bring back the ladies and the children that he has killed, many. And those children that became soldiers, because we mainly talk about gender-based violence now in South Africa, and that's a victory for these ladies that have been victims. You might remember that you followed one of the exhibitions we did in August this year, where these ladies from Kivu were talking about the way they were raped by those militias, Ntaganda, Thomas Lubanga. There are so many more of these rebel and leaders that are there that we need to arrest and put behind bars for.
You mentioned that it's a victory for the victims, the women that have been, victimized by, what he's called or dubbed the Terminator. But is it really a victory? I mean, they say their lives are destroyed. One woman was speaking about how her husband and child were actually killed by some of these soldiers sent by Ntaganda.
Well, I would say it's a victory in a sense while he will be remaining behind bars. In fact, he went himself to surrender to the U.S. But once upon a time on this platform of ENCA, I asked, where are the people who were sending Ntaganda, Bosco, who were giving him the ammunitions and the guns to kill and to commit all these atrocities in the Congo? These are the very people that we must bring onto the Hague, the ICC, if it's working for those that are criminals and that are still free. We might have some, again, in the government of Kinshasa that are just hiding behind the fact that they are officials. So the likes of Mr. Kyung Wakumwanza, who committed atrocity pogrom in Katanga region, is still there. So it's a victory, half victory, because at least these people can find a relief that the man who was actually ostracizing them is behind bar. The second point I want to mention here, when we are talking about these people in the Cape, in Western Cape, victims or refugees or asylum seekers, most of them have never received trauma counseling, because there are many that come from the eastern side of the Congo. But even Kinshasa was affected. Bandundu was affected. When we speak about the issue of the Congo, we narrow the matter to the militias in the eastern side. But the entire Congo now is hostage. I would like to use the term that the gift of the giver used earlier on. So we are hostages of the international system that has not liberated the Congolese people so that we could live peacefully, sustainably, and bring that country to the development that it aspires for.
Well, Mr. Boissa, we'll have to leave our conversation at that. Thank you so much for your time and joining us. That was Africa analyst Jean Boissa joining us.